Good morning, guys. Jeremy Marquez here, jmarqeting. We call you close more real estate listings. It is just about 7:30, just about time to get this event started. For those of you that are viewing this, thank you for coming in and checking out the video, the event. Let me just make sure everything's set up properly and we'll get moving and grooving, rocking and rolling. Okay. Right, here we go. The live feed is in the event. Oop, don't want that to happen. Might have a few hiccups here and there, but we will get this figured out. As far as making the videos and doing the lives, I'm not a professional at that. I'm a professional at cold calling and setting appointments. I do these videos to be able to share with you guys what I do and how I do it, so you can learn from me and get an idea of what I do if you're interested in hiring me. Today's the first day that we're doing the online paid event for 99 cents. So if you're viewing this, that means that you have bought a ticket and you're now viewing the program. I did say that for anybody that purchases a ticket for 99 cents, I'm going to offer a quick coaching call this week to help you guys get on the right track with your cold calling and your prospecting. And we're going to do that. We're going to offer that for every event here in the next couple of days. I'm going to do this every couple of days. And let's see here. If you're viewing this in the comments, please say hello. Please let everybody know where you're watching from. And unlike other previous broadcasts, you were able to share. Because this is a paid event, it's more of a private function. And so in order to be able to view this, you have to have a ticket, either part of my group or purchased a ticket for 99 cents. And we're just going to see how this works. I'm really just kind of playing around with it to see how Facebook's features work. They're trying to do some different stuff with their live streams, and so I'm playing along. And it looks like we have everything set up properly. Let me look at the agenda here. Basically, guys, when it comes to real estate prospecting by cold call, there's different platforms that technology companies have developed and put together for prospectors like myself, agents, brokers. Systems like Vulcan 7, RedX, Mojo. There's a lot of different platforms out there. And what these platforms allow for is it makes it less steps to be able to accomplish the certain same thing. So they provide data, expired listings, off-market listings, for sale by owner listings. Now, if you're just tuning in for the first time, as you know, my company, jmarqeting, we get hired by realtors and brokers nationwide to be able to set appointments for them for listings. We don't really deal with buyers. We strictly deal with listings, which makes my service very unique as far as a lead generation type service because it's more hands-on. Me and my team are not only making the phone calls, but we're setting the appointments. We're doing the nurturing. We're really teeing these appointments up to where my clients, all they have to do is show up to the appointment and close the deal and convert it to a listing and then sell the property. Okay? So my clients get, on average, usually more, about 3 qualified listing appointments every single week. It all starts with dials. Lots and lots of dials, lots of phone calls, okay? And so the more calls I make, the more conversations I'm going to have. The more conversations I'm going to have with motivated sellers, that's key because I don't want to waste time on folks that aren't motivated sellers, right? And then the more conversations I have, the more leads I'm going to warm up to be able to nurture into appointments. Some are going to turn into appointments on that first call. However, others will take follow-up calls, emails, texting in order to be able uh, to find out when they're really ready. Because when I set this appointment for my clients, I'm not just setting an appointment so they can go by and say hello. I'm setting an appointment so they can go by and have an opportunity to walk away from that appointment with a new listing. Okay? I'm not just putting appointments on calendar to say, woohoo, I put an appointment on calendar. No, I'm going to give my clients every opportunity possible to where when they get face to face with these sellers that I'm setting the appointments up with, that they're going to have a really good opportunity, as long as they bring their A game, to be able to walk away with a listing. Okay? So the learning is in the doing. So if you guys are just getting into cold calling and appointment setting, guys, don't do too much homework. Don't overwhelm your stuff with scripts and things like that and too much education. Just get in there and do it. Screw up. Learn from your mistakes. Apply what you learned the next time around and just get better. Okay? That's how I learn. And when it comes to cold calling and prospecting and what we do here, the learning is in the doing. So it really all just comes down to taking action and putting just getting on there, making calls. Okay. So let me just make sure everything's set up properly, and then we'll get to making some calls here. Now, there's a couple of links that will be featured: a link to my cold calling group, as well as a link to my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are liking and following jmarqeting, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel, where I have a lot of free content. Now, having folks pay to be able to watch these, this is a new thing for me. Okay, so I'm learning things that will give you guys value more than just my regular live sessions. Okay, so if you're watching now, obviously I thank you, but these will get better as time goes on with more value. Even though it's only 99 cents, I still want to bring you value. So most of that's going to come from me just making calls, talking about those calls, and explaining the best ways to handle these type of situations that will come up when I'm making calls. Okay, so is that little beep beep? That's just saying that we're already logged into the dialer. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the dialer, and we will just get right to it. How's that sound, guys? You guys okay with that? All right. Let me make sure everything's set up properly. I have a feeling that because the last week we had like 50,000 people watching the video at the same time. Because we're doing this new 90 paid ticket event style, I know we're going to have a lot less. That's okay. I'm just kind of testing this out today. Okay. So let me just go ahead. There's also a poll in there. If you guys could answer the poll question. Do you cold call? Just simple yes or no. And then let me pull up everything that I need pulled up, and we'll just get right to the calls. So I have 154 leads loaded up. Should keep us busy most of the day, really, because I call them multiple times. I don't just call once and done. And if you have questions about anything that I'm saying, use the comments box, and that's how we're going to interact here during the live event. I'm going to put most of my focus on making these calls. However, from time to time, I'll look over to the live stream window and see if there's any questions that I need to have answered. And before I get started, I'll put a link to my calendar. So if you're a realtor or a broker and you want to get information about my service, you're considering delegating to me, we can hop on a call and see if we're a good fit. I have a really easy onboarding process. It's really like a turnkey type solution. It's not one of those things where you buy a website and have to do SEO and things like that to see results. Literally the same day that you hire me, I'm making phone calls for you and setting appointments up for the following day. So it's something that works right away. And I only So a few requirements for the realtors and brokers that hire me. So you guys have your expectations. I also have some minimum requirements on my end because here's the thing. I only have so many hours in the day and I'm just a one-man band. So I can only work with so many realtors and brokers at a time. So I do turn down business from potential realtors and brokers if they don't meet certain expectations. So I need for my clients to be closing at least, before they even come to me, 3 transactions every single month. So 36 transactions a year. So usually that's realtors and brokers that have been in the business a couple of years. They've had some success and they want to keep growing. And so they're able to delegate cold calling and appointment setting for listings to a service like mine. So it makes more sense for them to do that because that way they can focus more on the calling. I'm sorry, on dealing with their clients and day-to-day activities and not spending 2 to 3 hours a day cold calling, right? They'd rather have a service like mine where it's proven and repeatable and they can just show up and they can have appointments on calendar to go talk to motivated sellers and just take new listings, win new listings. Out of 3 appointments that I set for my clients on a weekly basis, my expectation is that they're going to list at least one. Most of them are a caliber to where they're listing 2 or 3. Okay, I'm talking about the top 20% type realtors and brokers that I'm working with. Not just new agents and brokers, people that have been in the game and that are doing business well and serving a lot of people in their local markets. Those are the type of realtors and brokers that I work with. Okay. So I'm going to make some calls in my Tampa, St. Pete market. I work for a brokerage down there. And when I set these appointments, I round robin the appointments throughout the different agents in the brokerage. And so these guys are top notch. Not only are they really, really good at what they do, but they have really good marketing. They have a staging company. They have some guarantees that they'll sell the property in a certain amount of time. And so stuff like that, I'm able to use as ammo when I'm on the phone, when I'm calling expired listings, for sale by owner listings, circle prospecting. And we're going to start probably calling, when I make some calls here, expired, cancels, and for sale by owners. So let's talk about that for a minute, okay? So expireds and cancels are off-market listings, okay? Basically, I'm calling homeowners that were trying to sell their property, and the realtor or broker they were working with unfortunately was not able to get the job done. So one, they either canceled the agreement and so they weren't happy with the service they were receiving from that realtor, or two, the realtor agreement has expired, so they were in contract for an agreement for 6 months, a year, however long, and then it expired, and now we're finding out if they still want to sell, and if they still want to sell, then we're setting an appointment up for them to interview my clients. Okay, on the canceled, we're finding out if they still want to sell, and then if they still want to sell, we're setting an appointment for my clients. So that's off market stuff. Okay, and then for sale by owners. So you're calling a seller who is selling the property on their own, usually because they're avoiding paying a full commission. They want to try to get done on their own and save themselves some money. The facts are, though, 90% of for sale by owners sellers, they end up selling after hiring a realtor to do it. Okay, and the ones that don't, and they do get the job done on their own and they do sell it on their own, they end up selling it for less than they would have if they just hired a realtor. So the commission ends up being less than the amount that they reduced the price to sell it. So let's say they were selling it for $300,000, a listing commission would have been $9,000, but they end up selling it at the end of the day for $265,000. So they end up losing $35,000. And if they just would have hired a realtor to do that, they would have lost less in the commission than they did on the amount that they brought the property down. Does that make sense? Okay. And if any of this stuff needed me to slow down and repeat, I have no problem doing that. Or we can schedule a coaching call or a consulting call, after the live video. We can do that as well, okay? Let's see here. And so, got a couple of polls going in the live feed if you guys want to answer those. And we're about 15 minutes into the live event so far. It's getting to be about 7:45, 10:45 on the East Coast. By the way, I'm here in Sacramento, California. That's where my home office is just outside of Sacramento. Actually, we're in Fair Oaks. It's a nice little town here outside of Sacramento. Very nice community. And I work out of my home office here. At some point down the line, I might be opening an actual office. Um, right now, though, I just work out of my home office. No need for an office. And then later this year or next year, I'm not sure when, probably in the spring, I'm planning a nationwide virtual nomad tour. So I'm going to hop in my vehicle, take all of my laptop and all my technology, and we're just going to travel for a month or more. We're going to go to a lot of different sites in the United States. We're going to see some family. But the cool thing is I'm going to be working the whole time. So 4 to 6 hours, 8 hours a day, I'm going to be working, setting up an office in my car or at a hotel or at a hostel, whatever it may be, right? And I just got a funny message from somebody here. Had some spam. Okay. I'm gonna have to. I do not like that I'm receiving spam. As soon as I do one of these paid events, that's what's happening. So I'm gonna have to talk to Facebook about that. I don't know what's happening there. Okay. Anyhow, that's funny. I'm sure you guys can guess what type of message it was. The type of stuff that's not safe for work. Okay. Let's get right into the calls, guys. What do you think? Ready? All right. Let's see here. And I don't play music, even though I love music when I'm working. It kind of motivates me. But when I'm doing these lives, Facebook doesn't like that. I get hit with copyright type stuff and don't want to risk having the ability to do live videos because it's a big part of my business, sharing what I do with you guys to help you get better and to be able to build my client base for my coaching program as well. By the way, I am going to be rolling out a full coaching program here. Right now it's more of like a one-on-one type thing for training, consulting, and things like that for realtors and brokers, agents and brokers. Down the line, though, I'm going to roll out a full-blown program, with different levels of coaching and training, and it's strictly going to be about prospecting and converting leads to appointments and then to listings and to happy clients for realtors, for agents, for brokers, for their teams, their assistants. We're going to do it virtually as well as me coming to your office around the United States, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, basically any English-speaking country. I don't know any other languages. Unfortunately, I'm not fluent in Spanish. Maybe at some point I will be, and I'll be able to open it up to Spanish-speaking countries as well. Now, the online stuff, that will all be translated so anybody all over the world can access my coaching and training, as well as a book that I'm writing on this as well, will be coming out in 2021. So, enough about me. Let's just go ahead and get to the calls, guys. And if you have any questions, please use the chat box to ask. And we're just going to get right to it and make some cold calls. Okay. You think sound good? All right. This is a for sale by owner.
Hello.
Hi, this is Jeremy over at Frank Albert's Realty.
Yeah.
I was calling to speak with Norma Jean.
Yes, this is Norma. I've already got a contract on the house, so I appreciate your call, though.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a good day. So she says she got a contract on the house. Basically what that means is that she sold the property. Now it's only $175,000, and so this market in Tampa, Florida, it's hot. Hot, hot, hot. So there's not very much inventory. So as long as the properties are priced right, they're going to sell. Okay? And so she told us that it's under contract, it's sold, not much we can do. But what I do with those is I put them in for a follow-up call in a couple of weeks. Because sometimes, even though they have a contract, that means it's pending. something might happen to where it doesn't go through. So I'm going to follow up in a couple of weeks, say, hey, Norma, did that property sell? And then she's going to say, yeah, it's closed, or no, it fell out of contract. And then we're going to open the conversation up from there. But right now, during that conversation, not much more I can do besides move on to the next. All right, this is a canceled listing. It's only on the market for 3 days, so we'll see what happened here. And one thing I want to point out here, guys, is that when I'm making these calls, I do not sound scripted. I'm having a conversation with these people. I do not want to sound like I'm reading from a script that just like a robot. I'm truly having a conversation with them. I'm very polite, even if they're not very nice to me. I try to be as polite as possible and show them that we're there to help. And I have a conversation. Yes, I do have scripts that I follow just off bullet points and just like a guide, but I don't read from a script. I probably know about 100 of them, and I just, depending on how the call goes, I transition with how the call goes, and so I'm definitely not that scripted type cold caller that's reading off a piece of paper. And I know a lot of you probably are, and that's okay, because at some point in my career, maybe I was scripted, but I have more of a conversation with these folks. When I call them, I speak to them like they're a family member or a friend, and like I've known them for a long time. I'm very personal with these folks, and I'm able to get on their level, match their tonality, and be able to have a conversation with them. Because the more conversations I have, the more leads we're going to be able to warm up to nurture. The more leads we warm up to nurture, the more appointments we're going to set. The more appointments that I set that are qualified appointments, my clients are going to list more property, and that's what I'm here for. Okay, so let's continue with the calls. So I use Google Voice. So each one of my campaigns, I have a local caller ID. So I'm calling from California, but the caller ID shows a local phone number, and I leave Google Voice open so that way I can do text messages. When people call me back, I can create a list of those people that are calling me. If they call me back during a call session, I don't answer the phone. But after the call session, I'll end up calling them back or open the conversation up by text. A lot of appointments are set by text message, guys. So if you don't have a system like that while you're cold calling, you're missing out on a lot of business. No answer. There's about 5 numbers for this lead, so we're calling the same lead here. It's a $300,000 canceled listing.
Hello, you've reached L. William Luria, MD. Please leave your name, your phone number, and any message you wish. Hello, you've reached L. William Luria. Please leave your message for
This is still the same lead. We are live on Facebook. Come hang out. Making an Instagram post, guys. Okay. This is a new lead. It's a canceled listing from September 24th. 849.
Hello,
Hi, calling for Michael or Christine?
speaking.
Hey, Michael. Jeremy calling from Frank Albert Realty about your property in Barcelona. Did you get that sold?
No, we have other plans for the property right now, and I already have a real estate agent. Thanks for reaching out, though. Appreciate it.
So when should we expect it back on the market?
Bye bye.
He wasn't very talkative. He said he has another agent. So a lot of times I'll dig in and ask when do we expect to see it back on the market. And that way we can open the conversation up. However, he didn't want to open the conversation up. So let's just move on to the next. So this one is a $450,000 canceled listing. They took it off the market on the 24th. So let's call and find out what happened. This could be I think it's as an investor, but we'll find out if we get somebody on the phone. Smile and dial, guys. You always want to project that smile through the phone. You know, it's all about mindset. A lot of this has to do with mindset. You know, you need to keep that positive mental attitude and have fun with this. That's the other thing. You know, cold calling can't be a daunting task. You really have to look forward to doing this. I've been doing this for over 20 years and I enjoy it. If I didn't like doing what I do, I'd be doing something else. I literally have fun when I'm making these cold calls. It's like a strategy game trying to figure things out. And when you win the game when you set an appointment or you have a positive result, right? And I know that I have to go through so many no's or not interested or screw yous or hang-ups. I know that I have to go through those to find the yeses, to find the people that want to talk. However, if I allow my mindset to get messed up and allow folks to piss me off, I'm never going to find those positive, happy people because I'm going to be in a bad mood. So it's all mindset. Remember that, guys. And I can have a whole nother um, whole webinar based off of mindset and attitude and how it really helps when you're doing sales and marketing. And I probably will. Okay, so stay tuned for something like that.
Please leave your message for 7-2.
So it is 11 o'clock out there, so it's about middle of the day, and I call through different points in time. So I'll call sometimes at 8 a.m., sometimes I'll call at 11, sometimes I'll call at 4, sometimes I'll call at 7. Different times of the day to catch different people. Hello, Carlos? Hey, Carlos, this is Jeremy Marquez over at Frank Albert's Realty about your property on Aladdin.
Okay. How can I help you?
Well, I was calling that you saw that you were working with Tony Lisa Phillips for a couple of days and it didn't get sold. What happened?
Right now, I'm not currently working, but I'm not interested in selling anymore.
Well, I understand you're frustrated that you're getting lots of calls and the property didn't get sold. However, you were trying to sell just a couple of weeks ago, so I'm calling to see how we can help you.
Like I said, I'm working, man.
I know I caught you at work. We don't have to talk now. Can I call you later?
Like I said, I'm not going to be selling anytime soon right now.
So if somebody knocked on your door with a bag of cash, you wouldn't take it?
Not right now.
When do you think you're going to want to resell it?
Not sure, man.
Can we stay in contact?
Sure.
All right, I'll shoot you an email and give you a call in a couple of months.
Right.
All right, Carlos, have a good day. All right, guys, so he's frustrated. He was working with a realtor for a couple of months. The property didn't get sold. So in his mind, he's going to wait, okay? However, he did tell us that he's willing to sell in a couple of months. And he did say that we can keep in contact. I already have his email address. So I'm going to send him an email. I'm going to put him in there for a call back here in a couple of months. And that's a nurture. That's a lead that we throw into the database, into the pipeline, and we nurture it. So he's going to get hit with emails, text messages. He's going to get calls from me and my team, and also one of the agents on at Frank Albert Realty. And all of us together will follow up with him until he's ready to actually talk about getting it listed again. And he was at work, so I wouldn't want to talk to me either if I was at work. But he did talk to us for a little bit. He did say, okay, let's talk next year. So I'm going to send him that email, and I'm going to give him a follow-up call in January. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give him a call in December because he said he wants to sell next year. So I want to be able to establish that relationship. And so I'm going to give it a couple of weeks and just continue to call him back until we're able to get on a phone call. Now I'm going to send him emails. I'm going to send him text messages. The system that we use does all that stuff automatically. Because here's the thing. When you're calling these type of leads, the fortune is in the follow-up. You really have to have a good follow-up system. Otherwise, you're going to let a lot of stuff slip through the cracks. And I'll teach you guys more about that as time goes on. But as an example, one of the teams I work with just listed and sold a property that started from a phone call that I made back in April. Okay, so what is that, like 5 months? And that's not even that long. But as an example, I made a phone call and same sort of situation, but we followed up, we nurtured, and just about a month ago, they finally decided to work with us. We listed the property and got it sold within a week. So the fortune is definitely in the follow-up. So it's September now. I'm going to give him a call at the beginning of December. And since I called him on a Monday, I'm going to give him a call back on a Monday at around the same time. And then we will print out the lead. I'll print out the call recording, save the call recording, that is, and then just move on to the next call. So give me one moment while I do that. And just for time's sake, because we're doing this live event, I'll go ahead and just do that afterwards. But he's going to get a text message. He's going to get an email manually from me today. And then we'll use our system to give him auto emails and text messages, and then I'll call him as well over the next few months until we're able to get him on the phone, until we're able to set an appointment for him to meet with one of our team members to be able to get that property listed and sold. Now, The key is you want to do that hundreds, if not thousands of times. Because just because you create a lead does not mean that it's going to turn into a client or a transaction down the line. It's like phone calls. The more you make, the more opportunity. So you build that pipeline up, and then eventually the pipeline starts getting knocked down. But you have to do this daily, consistently, in order to keep building that pipeline up, because there's going to be stuff that falls out. There's going to be stuff that closes. So you have to keep building that pipeline up, because when you're in a business like this, guys, you don't get an hourly wage. You don't get a salary. You create your worth. And so you have to be consistent with what you're doing. I do on a daily basis. Otherwise, there's no guarantees of the amount of money that I'm going to be making. It's all based off of the performance, the work ethic, and the time that I put into this. Okay. So he's going to be in there as a nurture. I have a folder here for that. I already got him set up for a follow-up call. Let me just go ahead and pull his contact up, and then I'll go ahead and download the recorded call as well. And he was at work. I may even give him a call this afternoon just to see, what's going on when he actually has time to talk. But right now, just was not the time, and I get it. Like I said, he was at work. I wouldn't want to stop and talk to somebody just calling him out of the blue either. So I'm lucky to have the amount of time that I did have with him. It's mindset. It's how you look at stuff, guys. Okay, so we're going to give him a call every 2 weeks. And then because here's the thing, like, since that property came off the market, every realtor and broker and assistant in town has been calling him. So not only is he frustrated that the property didn't get sold, but now he's frustrated because everybody's calling him trying to get that listing. I don't blame him. There's going to be some frustration there. So when I go into these calls, I have to understand the mindset of the people that I'm calling as well, right? Nobody's really happy and like, woohoo, I won the lottery when somebody's cold calling them about a property, right? Who's going to be happy about that? So that way, you have to go in knowing the mindset of the person that you're reaching out to and be empathetic, not necessarily sympathetic, but be empathetic of their situation. Understand their situation, but also have a solution for that situation. Okay. Sucks being an empath. No, I love it. All right, so that's September. We're going to start calling him. I just want to pull it up on the calendar so that way I can attach the calls and stuff. So I'm going to start calling him in December on the 7th. And then but until he already got an email from me. I already sent him an email, and then he'll get an email every couple of days, and then I'm going to send him a text message as well, just so he has our information, and then we'll just move on to the next call. See, prospecting and doing, it's more than just making these phone calls, guys. You have to really make sure that you're thorough and handle everything on the front end, because the amount of leads and the amount of calls that we're making, stuff will fall through the cracks. I don't care how good your memory is. So I'm sending a text message right now. Again, remember I said that we use Google Voice, so I actually have it up on my browser, so that way I can just type a quick text message out to Carlos, make sure he has our website, and then just move on to the next call. Who knows? He might decide to open the conversation up by text. At least that way he'll have our contact info. And he'll be like, oh, okay, that's the guy I just talked to. He's really thorough. Who knows what he's thinking, right? But I just do that to make sure that I is getting him as much information as I can on the front end, so that way I don't let stuff fall through the cracks on the back end. All right, so got that in there. Let's save him as a contact. And I do this for every lead that I warm up. And we're probably doing, everything that we intend to follow up with, we want to make sure we do this for. And so I sent him a message through Google, and Google automatically matches their phone numbers. So he has a lawn care service, K&M Lawn Services. So that's some information there that's good to have. So now I know that, he was probably out working, like he said, he was out there, doing landscaping stuff. And so he's like, oh, who is this guy calling me about my house? I'm over here trying to work. I get it. And a lot of times, even though they say I'm going to wait till next year, it really just means that they're busy right now. So we can call them in a week and things could be completely different. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to move that nurture date up a little bit and call it a little bit sooner. You guys drinking coffee? I drink coffee. I love coffee. Let's see. It is 8:11. Okay, so I'm glad we were able to have at least a little conversation with a seller. Let's continue on and see what happens here. Okay. 300,000, cancel listing.
Please leave your message for 81378922620.
So I decided with Carlos, I'm going to assign Carlos to one of the agents. So that way, not only will I be following up and nurturing, but she can as well. And a lot of what I'm talking about, guys, is my internal process and system. And the way that you do things for your business or for your client is going to be different. But the stuff that will be the same is the calls and the mindset and things like that. I don't expect you to go and try to duplicate, my business. However, you can all the information I'm giving you enough information to do that. However, I don't expect you to, like I said, to do. This is my internal process and system. I don't expect you guys to do it the same way. That's what I mean. Just give me one moment here, and we'll continue on with the calls. And on some of these future events, some of these future lives, what I'll do is I'll share my screen. I'm going to start doing it on Zoom sometimes, and so that way I can share my screen so you guys can see the internal process and system as well. And of course, those are going to be paid events because that's going to be giving away a lot of my, almost trade secrets, stuff that I've developed over the last 4 or 5 years since I've been building this business. Now, I don't mind sharing that stuff. However, a lot of that content will be only for the people that pay for the event. All right, I got Carlos on calendar, got him assigned. Let's move on to the next.
Hello?
Hi, this is Jeremy with Frank Albert's Realty calling for Jennifer.
You got a wrong number.
Oh shucks. Oh, have you been getting a lot of calls for her?
Yeah, a lot lately. I don't know who she is. I think she must be having this number before me, but yeah.
How long have you had it?
Hello?
How long have you
Sorry.
had the number?
I am not.
Oh, she hung up. She's like, "Who's this guy asking me all this information?" I'm just gonna put her in there as wrong person. Move on to the next.
Hello. You've reached the voicemail of Joe Dyser. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you soon.
So I usually don't leave a voicemail. I want to try to have them call back, so I don't leave a lot of voicemails.
message at the time. Thank you.
Okay, this is going to be a 475 cancel listing, absentee owner, so they live up north. We really like absentee owners. They're really good. And I know that because Vulcan 7 pulls the tax and title records, and the tax address is a different address than the property address. And the tax address is up north in New Jersey. I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm only going to do these paid events like on Fridays. And the rest of the week when I do lives, I'm not going to have tickets. And so that way there will be more free content. And then maybe once or twice a week, I'll do the paid online events. Again, this is the first one. And I'm just really playing around with it. And I'm not sure if I like the idea of having all of my streams be paid. I want to be able to share what I do as much as possible with you guys. And I feel like a lot of you just aren't sure if there's enough. I get it. I don't know if I'd pay for it either. Even though I know I'd get value from it, I don't know. And so I want to be able to probably do it once a week, and then I'll build like a webinar type training that would be only for the people who pay for the event. So that way
Hi, you've reached the voicemail of Teresa Crane.
that way you're getting something tangible and compared to just sitting there and watching me make calls. Maybe I'll throw in like a coaching session or setting you guys up with your own platform type thing. I'm just playing around with the idea of it. It's not a way for me to be able to generate an income. Any money that I receive from the ticket sales will just go back into marketing anyways. And so it's not like I'm sitting here, banking off the ticket sales or people, getting my live events. However, I do want to have some content that's not just free. And so I'm just kind of playing around with those ideas. And so if you have any ideas, if you guys are doing these events as well for your business, I'd like to be able to have an idea share. So shoot me, a message and we can discuss more. And I'd love to also have some guests on here. So a portion of my show will be me interviewing other people who are doing cold calling, other realtors, brokers. And so eventually I'm going to roll that out too, towards like a podcast type video platform. And so I'll do interviews of, top realtors out there, top mortgage people, top prospectors. And I already have a handful of folks that said that they would allow me to interview them, folks that I've been following for years that I really have a lot of respect and admiration for, like Ricky Caruth, like Brian Casella, like Barino, some of the trainers and salespeople that I grew up with in my life, some of my managers, they've already agreed to allow me to interview them for my shows. So not only will I be doing cold calls, but also to be able to bring you insight from people that I follow, people that I've learned from. Okay? There's a lot of different things I can do with this. It's more than just me making cold calls, because not only am I hired by realtors to be able to do calls for them, but I'm also developing my coaching and training and consulting program. And so there's a lot of content that I want to be able to, I want to be able to, in an organized way, be able to dump knowledge on you guys and allow you to soak it up. And so courses, things like that, because like I said, I've been doing cold calling, outbound dialing since I was 16. I'm 38 now, so I have over 20 years of successful business experience of just smashing it, doing really good on the phones. I was just talking the other day with a friend of mine. I've never had like a hard labor type job. Everything that I've done in my life has to do with the phones, computers, and being able to just pick up the phone and make something out of
Hi,
nothing.
you've reached Walton Danny's voicemail. Please leave a message. Thank you.
Just be able to make something out of nothing. And I love that stuff, just to pick up the phone and be able to create a relationship that will down the line be me helping them with a service or product that by default I'm going to get paid for. But I really enjoy it, guys. You don't have to love it and enjoy it like me. I guess I'm just kind of weird like that. And that's okay. That's just me. But if I can teach you certain basic stuff to be able to give you more success, I'm winning there too. So guys, if you guys are just joining, welcome to the stream. It's like we have
Your
about
call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
45 people in here now. Welcome. Let everybody know where you're from in the comments box, please. At 8:45, we're going to take a quick break. And then I'll come back and do this more. But we're going to keep calling for about 20, 30 more minutes or so at least. So these are for sale by owners now, okay? Let's see if we can get somebody on the phone.
Hi, you've reached Kevin. Sorry I missed your call. Please leave me a message and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
No voicemail. So this is a $199,000 for sale by owner. It's been on the market for 5 days. So when we're calling for sale by owners, it's usually one of 3 different scenarios. 1, they've sold it, they don't need our help. 2, they hired a realtor or broker, so there's nothing we can do now, it's in somebody else's hands. Or 3, they're still doing the for sale by owner on their own, and they haven't sold it yet, so they're probably considering hiring a realtor. That's what we're looking for. At that point, then I set an appointment for my team to go meet with them and be able to get that property listed and sold. Looks like we have 324 viewers in here now. Welcome. In the comments box, please tell everybody where you're from and what you guys do in sales and marketing. Real estate, mortgage, whatever it is that you do, VA.
The Google Fi subscriber you have called is not available.
Google Fi. Anybody have Google Fi as their mobile carrier? I've been considering switching over. This is a $600,000 for sale by owner.
Hi, this is Kelly with Sunset Home Sales. Thanks so much for calling. Please leave me.
So that's the owner, but that's the name of the person we're looking for. But it also sounds like she's a realtor. So not a lot that we even have room, therefore she wouldn't need our services. So I'll remove that because I know that it would be a waste of time to even follow up with that one. Okay, this is just a parcel, 5-acre piece of land.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 81381019114 is not available.
Okay, this is $179,000. Looks like it might be a condo.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 9417049.
Okay, this is a $269,000 for sale by owner. This could be a good one. Hopefully she answers.
Hello,
Hi, this is Jeremy over at Frank Albert Realty calling for Carolyn.
this is she.
Hey Carolyn, calling about the property on Hill Pine. Did you get that sold already?
We have an offer pending.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations. Are you accepting backups?
We will accept backups, yep.
Okay, well, when are you guys set to close?
Well, we're hoping by the end of this week.
You feel pretty confident about it, or should we talk to our buyers about it?
I always say that I hope it goes through, but you never know.
You do never know. Okay, awesome. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to be.
to see the house?
I don't want to BS you because we don't have anybody that's specifically interested yet. I wanted to gather that info for the team first. So if we have somebody who's interested, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds great.
Have a good day. So they have an offer. It's probably going to close. I'm going to put her in there for a nurture. And then we'll call back in a week to see if it closed, and then we'll open the conversation back up then. And I never lie to people and tell them that we have a buyer. There are realtors and brokers out there that are very unethical that will do that. That's not our style, guys. We're not going to sit there and try to backdoor them and tell them we have a buyer, and then later on we don't even have a buyer. We're very upfront about what we do. Gather information, see if they're working with buyer's agents, and then the follow-up question, if it wasn't already in contract, I would have asked if she's open to working, interviewing a realtor at some point, right? And so then I roll into the listing side of things, but I never lie to them. Now, a lot of realtors and brokers will. To me, that type of stuff will just come right back to you at some point, and it's going to really make you guys look bad in the future. So I would suggest never lying to them and telling them that you have a buyer when you know you don't. So I put her in for a follow-up call in a couple of weeks. We'll see if it's sold, and then that's simply all we do on that one. Just move on to the next. All right, we'll see if we can get somebody on the phone here.
Hello?
Hi, this is Jeremy at Frank Albert's Realty calling about your unit that you're selling.
Yes.
Is that still available, or have you got it sold already?
No, it's available still.
Oh, awesome. Are you open to working with buyers agents that bring a qualified buyer for the property?
What percentage are you looking for?
I am an assistant here at Frank Albert's Realty, and legally I can't talk about numbers. However, what I'm doing is gathering information for the team. So are you open to
Okay.
working with realtors if they had a buyer?
Yes, but honestly, we are open to working with you guys for 1%.
1%?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get the property sold on your own, are you considering listing it at some point?
Not at this point.
At some point down the line, are you considering listing if you can't get it done on your own?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that will be the case.
Okay, well, fair enough. We'll reach out if we have a buyer. Have a good day.
All right, you guys, bye. Thanks.
1% on the buyer side, that's really low. She's going to have a hard time selling that property. To me, that just shows that she's not very motivated to sell the property. Here's the thing, it's only an $85,000 unit. All right, you do the math. On to the next, guys. We just move on from that one. But here's the thing, we're having good conversations, and that's what it's about. The more conversations we have, the more opportunity to create leads and more appointments. So we're on the right track here.
This is David.
Hey David, this is Jeremy over at Frank Albert's Realty.
Yeah.
Reaching out about property on West Gray. Did you get that sold or is it still available?
It's still available.
Awesome. And I'll be quick and to the point here. I'm gathering some information for our team. Are you guys open to working with agents that have a buyer?
Yes, I'd be willing to work with agent buyers or
Awesome.
buyers agents. Yeah.
Perfect. And looks like you have it at 445?
Correct.
Okay. And how much time do you need in advance to show the property?
Well, I'm not going to be able to show it really until the second week of October. I know I kind of put it up there a little early, but I have tenants in there and they're moving out on October 5th. Just with the virus, I don't want to, since we're already so close to the move out date, don't want to take too many people in and out right now. But I could probably show it starting the second week of October.
Got it. And no, I completely understand. If for some odd reason you're not able to get the price point that you want, are you going to be listing with a realtor at some point?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes this first couple weeks, and then I'll probably maybe list it with a realtor. I have a friend who's a realtor, so I'd probably let him list it.
Gotcha. Well, if we have a buyer, we're going to let you know. Second week of October, you're able to start showing. And now I know you got a friend in place. However, sometimes that doesn't always work out. When it gets to that point, are you open to at least interviewing one of our agents before listing?
It's possible, yeah, sure. I'd probably make that decision, in a couple weeks. We'll see how things are going.
Probably towards the end of October if you can't get it done, you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm taking some notes here. I'm going to talk to the team. If we have a buyer, we'll definitely reach out. And in the meantime, when we get off the phone here, I'd like to just send you one email with our resume so you know who we are, and then we can just be in contact by email or phone. Is that fair enough?
That's fine.
Cool. What's the best email?
It's D as in David, A, and then Westman, my last name. I'll spell it for you. W-E, S as in Sam, S as in Sam, M as in Marshmallow, A, then N as in Nancy, at gmail.com.
So DA Westman at gmail.com.
Correct.
Got it. Now, you'll get one email when we get off the phone here. It will have links to some of the stuff that we do for our clients, and then as well as an attached resume from our brokerage. And if we have somebody who's interested, we'll reach out. And if for some reason down the line you can't get the price you want or get it sold, we'd love to at least interview to show you what we would do different than your friend or any other brokerage in the market.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Thanks, Mr. Westman. Good luck on getting it sold.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, so that's an ideal situation for a for sale by owner. He's not ready yet. He has a buyer. He has a tenant in there. So there's nothing that can happen right now. Okay? Also, he told us that he considered listing down the line if he can't get it done on his own. He did say that he has a friend. Now, guys, when it comes to transactions like this, we're talking about a $500,000 transaction. A couple of reasons why you don't always want to work with your friend or family. One, if something happens and it doesn't go right, you risk that relationship having an awkward vibe, and maybe even kill that relationship. And just because you have a friend that is a dentist doesn't mean that you're going to go get your tooth fixed by your friend. You're going to go to the best dentist in the market, right? So I don't usually go into that with them because I don't want to piss them off. But they usually know that listing with their friend or family member isn't always the best option. So that friend, if they're truly a friend, is going to understand if they decide to list with somebody else. Otherwise, it's that friend's issue, okay? It's business, guys, and you don't always want to necessarily mix business with family or friends. Okay, so I'm going to put them in for a follow-up call in the middle of October. And which is just around the corner, by the way. Man, September went so quick. Okay. So I'm going to put him in there for a follow-up starting the second week of October. In the meantime, he'll get an email and some texts and things like that. I'm going to text him when we get off the phone, and then I'm going to email him as well when I get done with this session, excuse me. And then we will continue to follow up and nurture. I'm going to assign that one to one of our agents, and then that way he or she can also follow up. That's a really good opportunity right there. Not only for the buyer side, but if for some reason he can't get the price point he wants and he can't get it sold on his own, he knows that he's probably going to list it. He's just kind of testing the waters to see how things go. That's really what's happening there. So let me print out the lead, and then we'll print out, it's getting to be about 8:45, and this event was going to go until 8:45. So as far as the paid event, that's about to finish here. However, here in about an hour, I'm going to continue to do some cold calling, so I may decide to go live as well. So that's why you want to be sure to like and follow jmarqeting, and that way when I do go live today or any other time in the future, you're notified. And I'll ask, also if you guys want to join our group, we have a private group for people that use the telephone or other prospecting to be able to create relationships in business. So we share best practices and we help get each other better. And I'd love to have you guys as part of the group as well. So make sure that you join that group, as well as if you'd like to follow me on my other platforms. There's a few links in there to where you can do that. And use me as a resource, guys. Even if you don't plan to hire me or my service for your realtor or for your agents or brokers, that's fine. I have a lot of free resources, and I'm here to help you guys get better. I also offer paid coaching and consulting, so we can always talk about that. However, like I was saying, you can just go ahead and make sure that you follow me. That way, when I do go live, you guys are notified. Okay. So we're going to send him that email. The system will automatically send him that email. And it's getting to be about 8:45. So I'm going to finish this event up. Guys, I greatly appreciate those of you that have came and tuned in. I'm Jeremy Marquez with jmarqeting. Please keep a lookout for future events, some paid, some free. on my page, there's hours and hours of content on there of me cold calling and doing what I do. So go back and look at the archives. Let me know if there's anything that I can do to help. Have a good Monday. Let's finish this month strong. And let me know if there's anything that I can do to help. Have a great day.